Headline: Zelensky uses martial law to avoid election. There's your Ukrainian democracy, guys, right in front of your eyes. The October vote will not happen if Ukraine's parliament renews emergency measures. No, we're going to use the excuse that we're in war. You guys can't have an election in war because I need to finish my war until everybody's dead. This is IrnieracingNews, guys, July 27th, 2023. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky on Wednesday proposed to extend the state of emergency, thereby effectively canceling parliamentary elections scheduled for October. Zelensky declared martial law on February 24th, 2022, and has been extending it ever since. Kind of reminds me of exactly what Biden did. Let's extend every month, every 2 months, we're going to extend the emergency measures. The most recent 90-day extension was announced on May 20th and is due to expire on August 18th. If their Verkhovna Rada approves Zelensky's latest request, this will see the emergency extended through November 15th. Ukrainian law calls for parliamentary elections no later than October 29th, with a 60-day campaign season starting on August 28th, almost a month from tomorrow. However, it also forbids campaigning and voting during martial law. Another extension would cut into the campaign season for the presidential elections currently scheduled for March 2024. If we have martial law, we cannot have elections. The Constitution prohibits any elections during martial law, as Zelensky announced in May. Some of the Ukraine supporters in Europe and North America have been critical of the possible cancellation of elections. Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe head Tiny Cox said in an interview in May that Ukraine should prepare for a vote as soon as possible. Although democracy is far more than only elections, I think we all agree that without the elections, democracy cannot properly function, Cox said at this time. Of course it can't function, and there has been elections in wartime during World War II. Of course there is. This is normal stuff. Let the people vote about what you're doing with the country. We all know Zelensky can't win that vote, or, the puppet regime is going to fall when whatever people are left alive in Ukraine are going to vote for ending this war and get rid of Zelensky and the puppet regime that's been killing all of their men and kids. Zelensky ran on a peace platform in 2019 and won with 73% of the vote. He won on a peace platform. Amazing. Shortly thereafter, his normally formed party, named after the TV show in which he played a fictional president of Ukraine, won a supermajority in the Verkhovna Rada. By late 2020, he had pivoted away from the notion of peace in Donbass and began to openly talk about a military solution for occupied territories. 3 months after the conflict with Russia began in May 2022, Zelensky enacted a law that allowed him to ban any political parties merely accused of being pro-Russian, without any right to appeal. I'm going to just add in, of course, no facts, no real evidence, no nothing, just namesay. It's calling you a witch, and then let's burn the witches. Since then, he has outlawed a dozen parties, including the once largest parliamentary opposition bloc. Earlier this month, the Federal Intelligence Services of Switzerland accused Zelensky of attempting to politically eliminate Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko ahead of next year's president election. The FIS cited credible intelligence to say Zelensky was showing authoritarian traits which may lead to the Western pressure, according to a classified report leaked by the outlet NZZ. There you go, your authoritarian state that the G7 countries, the EU, the NATO are all saying that they're so great, we need to defend their democracy. No, we need to defend owning Ukraine, because now BlackRock owns half of Ukraine, and Ukraine owes so much money. Now they're in such debt from all the war. The more money that they're being lent, they have to repay. Well, they can't repay it, so we're taking your country. So the proxy war of U.S., NATO versus Russia is moving on to ownership of Ukraine, where the money laundering, the child sex trafficking, the human slavery just keeps going and all gets shut under the rug, Just like the movie that the mainstream media, the Mel Gibson produced movie, is trying to shut down because it's about the sex trafficking and slavery industry that Hollywood doesn't want you to see or know about because they're all complicit. This is Irnieracing News.